To succeed in Amazon wholesale, you need to be able to land new accounts on an ongoing basis. The problem is that most manufacturers don't want any more Amazon sellers because the ones that they have are causing them problems. If you can't overcome this objection, all of the work that you've done to put yourself in a position to have this conversation has been a complete and total waste of time. Hello YouTube, my name is Trent Dyrsmid, and for the last couple of years I have run a rapidly growing multi-million-dollar Amazon third-party seller business using the wholesale business model, and in today's video I'm going to share with you the exact questions and the strategy that I use to overcome this very common objection from manufacturers. The key to overcoming this objection is to not launch into a pitch. What most amateur sellers will do when a brand says they don't want any more third-party sellers is they'll start to try and convince them why having more sellers will actually be beneficial for the brand, and nothing could be further from the truth. Instead of pitching on all the reasons why you think you're the best thing since sliced bread, it is much better to say something along the lines of this. You know what, Mr. Manufacturer, I agree. You shouldn't have any more Amazon third-party sellers. As a matter of fact, I think that you would be better off having fewer Amazon third-party sellers. By agreeing with them in this nature instead of arguing with them, you're completely changing the tone of the interaction, and now you're setting yourself up to be able to have a much more productive conversation. You will then want to lead that conversation off by saying to them, or asking them rather, do you have a MAP policy? And if you're not familiar with the term MAP, it stands for minimum advertised price. More than likely, they're going to tell you that they do have a MAP policy, and the next question after that is going to be, well, are your current sellers violating your MAP policy on an ongoing basis? And their answer is probably going to be yes, which is the number one reason why they don't want any more Amazon third-party sellers, is they don't want any more MAP violations. Once I understand that they have a MAP policy, the next thing I'm going to ask them is I'm going to say, well, what percentage of your sales are on Amazon? And probably they're going to say maybe it's 5 or 10% of the company's overall sales are on the Amazon platform, to which I am going to reply, I'm going to say, so I assume then that the far larger channel for you is brick and mortar retailers. They're going to give me the answer, yes, it is. I'm going to follow up with them with another question saying, well, of all of the brick and mortar retailers that you sell to, is there one of those brick and mortar retailers which accounts for, basically, are they your largest account? There's always going to be one that's the largest account. And then you're going to say to them, well, what percentage of your revenue goes to that one large account? So just use a simple example. Let's say that they also sell to Walmart, and Walmart's going to sell in their stores, and Walmart is 40% of the company's revenue. So obviously that is a significant revenue concentration in one account. Now that I understand this, my next question is going to be, well, how does Walmart and all of your other brick and mortar retailers feel about the MAP violations that are taking place on the Amazon platform? The question kind of answers itself. They're not going to be very happy. And then I'm going to follow up with a question. I'm going to say, well, has Walmart ever told you that if you don't get MAP under control on the Amazon platform that they might stop buying from you? And the answer to that could very well likely be yes. So you see what you're doing with this line of questioning is if you're to use a metaphor, they've got this sore on their arm and you've kind of got a knife and you're stabbing at it and digging at it because you're trying to make it understood to be as big a deal as possible. Now, some people will already understand that this is a really big deal, and others may not have thought their way through the entire exercise. But what you're most importantly, what you're doing with these questions is you're not pitching yourself. Instead, you're showing yourself to be knowledgeable and an expert in your area by asking very smart questions. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to say, well, what would the impact on your business be if you were to lose the Walmart account? To which obviously they're going to reply, it would be catastrophic. It could potentially even put them out of business. Now you're in position to ask the most important question of all, and that is this. Do you have a strategy to identify and remove the unauthorized sellers that are causing those MAP violations? most likely their answer will be no. If they say yes, you can start asking them about how effective it is, how it works, how long they've been doing it, and so forth. But in the case of me, in my experience, there's one brand in particular, and they're one of our major accounts to this day, and that's why they come to mind. It took me 17 minutes to get them from no, we don't want any more Amazon sellers, to your account is approved. And the reason that happened is I went through this exact series of questions, and when I asked them the question, do you have a strategy for identifying and removing unauthorized sellers? Their answer was no. And then I explained my strategy for how we identify and remove unauthorized sellers. And when he heard the strategy, the next words out of his mouth were, "Trent, your account is approved." Since then, we've sold $600,000 or $700,000 worth of their products and earned $80,000 or $90,000 in profit over the last year and a half or so. So obviously being able to overcome that objection was an extremely profitable venture, to say the least. All right, if you have enjoyed this video, there's a whole lot more that you can get, and I would suggest that you head over to brightideas.co/insiders to become a free member of my Amazon Wholesale Insiders community. When you'll do that, you'll get access to other videos as well as a thriving Facebook community filled with Amazon wholesale third-party sellers. And if you have questions about this video, make sure you put them down in the comments and I'll be sure to get you an answer. And finally, if you want to make sure that you get to see other videos from me and give me the opportunity to say hello to you in other videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell before you go. Thanks very much for tuning in. Take care. Bye-bye.